Mui Thomas is not your average person, and you're going to find out about it right about now. She just completed her first Hyrox relay race, and it was a fun conversation, a lot of laughs, a lot of cussing, more than I do in an average episode, and I can't wait for you to listen to it. And she's not to my left right now laughing about this as we go. Let's get started. Mui Thomas, how you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Okay, I just need to make sure because I'm always neurotic about this. Did I pronounce your name correctly right there?
Yeah. I
Right
mean,
on.
honestly, everyone pronounces my name in a different way,
Yeah.
but Mui is fine.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
First of all, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. I did Hyrox last night, so
You did.
my legs and my back are a little bit sore.
Mhm.
Uh, but it'll be fine.
Okay.
It will be fine.
All right. Among the physical things that you've done in your life, where does this last race kind of stack up there?
I don't know. I feel like pretty high up.
Yeah.
But I feel like I kind of made a bit of a thing this year
Mhm.
to do lots of chaotic things.
Okay.
So
That's a hell of a goal.
I know,
And it's also pretty broad. So this would be in the physical chaos
in the
part of
physical
it?
chaos. I mean, I should have said I think my goal was to do as many physically chaotic
Okay, there we
things
go.
I could
Okay.
do.
Right on.
Because in February I did the Standard Chartered 10K.
Well, okay.
Yeah, for the first time. And I say the first time because I mean, I don't know if you've ever done it. But getting into it, it's like some dirty little secret. You've got to literally be on the pulse
Oh, okay.
when the applications come in.
Yeah, that's the one where there's multiple race types and everyone wants to sign up. And also it's really hard to transfer
think
your
it's
bib number or something.
yeah, and I think it's I think it's like 74,000 in total.
Spots that are open.
Yeah,
Jeez.
and
Okay.
then I think I'm not a numbers nerd, but I did have a look because I was curious.
Yeah.
32,000 for the 10K.
Okay.
So it was quite but I was very lucky to get in. I did the 10K, pretty happy about it.
And then you were like, screw it, let's do a Hyrox.
So the thing about Hyrox is it's been in Hong Kong for how many years do we know?
I think one of the first years was like in the late stage of the COVID
Like late
pandemic,
COVID,
right? So like
right?
2022 or something, like even
Yeah.
earlier than that, perhaps.
So I kind of had a little bit of I thought it was just going to be one of those, oh God, another activity which I don't think I'll ever get myself into.
Mhm.
And the thing, and I don't know what it was. I think it was a whole, everyone's doing it. And I thought, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Because looking at what they were doing, I thought, I absolutely cannot do it.
Okay.
And then I started having FOMO because, of course, if you see everyone, loads of people doing it, then you're like, okay, I need to get in.
Yeah. You would consider yourself a high FOMO kind of person? Fear
Yeah,
of missing out.
yeah, fear of missing out.
Yeah.
And so when they announced Hong Kong, I think last year or something like that,
Mhm.
I thought, okay, let's give it a go. And I had a chat with a couple of people, and they said, if you want to start your Hyrox journey, it would be good to start in a relay.
Okay.
Yes.
As in, this is the most accessible format?
It's the most accessible, and it gives you, I think, a really good starting point to see if you like it.
Right.
And also to see what you can do. Because I think, Hyrox is 8 kilometers of running, 1 kilometer, an activity, another kilometer, another activity.
Right.
8 times. And knowing me and my own limitations, I thought, absolutely not. So yeah, I did the relay. I gathered a few friends of similar abilities and, just a desire. This is the thing, we weren't out there to get ripped necessarily. We were out there just to have some fun.
Yeah.
And it really shows in our place ranking. No, we
Can I ask you about the goal of having fun? How
Yeah.
do you define fun in the realm of doing a Hyrox race?
I think not taking yourself too seriously.
Mm,
And I think just I would like to think that we want to do things because we want to, because we want to enjoy it. We don't want to think that we are being forced into it.
I see.
Um and so for us, yeah, so that's what we did.
Is that the vibe that you got when you got to the Asia World Expo?
I mean, it was very overstimulating.
Yeah.
Because there was obviously Hyrox is like over an entire weekend, I
Mhm.
think. And we were like the last wave, not the last wave, the second last wave of the whole weekend.
Yeah.
So there were lots of people who were there. Um and it was crowded. It was loud. And at first I thought, oh shit, what have I let myself in for? But I actually think the music, the
Mhm.
vibes, it really does, push you on.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it
Could you
does.
like hear the crowd and the music throughout the entire part of your race?
Um, given the time that we raced was, um, quite late, not as much as possibly during the day,
Mhm.
but there was still like quite a hefty crowd. I
Okay.
mean, don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
mean, we weren't, we weren't in an empty arena. We weren't that late,
Mhm.
but it was quite, yeah, there was definitely a sense of everyone supporting each other,
Yeah.
everyone, yeah, so it was
I mean,
nice.
I've had that as well. Like I've done CrossFit competitions where the only people that are in the crowd are the people that are waiting for their turn to do the thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so then, like, if people are getting ready for their heat, then that means that the crowd is a lot lighter than it would be in the final heat of, like, the big dogs, for
Oh,
example.
yeah.
But the music's pumping and you have your MC and stuff, and there's,
Yeah.
like, a level of, like, "Oh, shit, this is am I an athlete right now? Is this
Yeah.
is this
Yeah.
happening?" You
Yeah.
know? And, maybe this will be a perfect opportunity to kinda take a step back and kind of do a little bit of background,
Yeah.
introduce yourself a little bit, Mui. So, I guess, how would you introduce yourself to people professionally? Like, let's start with that. What do you do professionally?
So I am actually, so my actual day job is I'm a caregiver. So I
Mhm,
actually look after an individual with special needs.
mhm,
He is an adult. And he's obviously got his illness. So I help sort of, I help to look after him. I'm trying to be diplomatic here in case you're listening. Um, but I also, I help out in the sense that I get to take him out on walks. I get
mhm.
to do activities with him. Keep him moving, which is great because I'm active. Um, I have a family initiative with my mum and dad called The
Mm.
Girl Behind the Face, which is which is gathering momentum, I mean, I say gathering, it's been 10 years. Um, but we have some exciting news possibly before the end of the year. So, um,
Okay.
yeah. Remind me, I'll tell you.
Yeah, we'll get to that as well.
And then I also teach a little bit of, well, of yoga on the side, because
Why
every
not?
why not? And I feel like, especially in Hong Kong, you can't really have one job anymore. You could, or it would be too boring. So it's good to have different things.
Okay.
And then just to add a bit an extra thing,
Yeah.
I do a little bit of stuff for the Hong Kong rugby referees.
Yes.
So yeah, I am not a sedate person.
Not at all. And I
No.
think, like, downstairs when you came in, you caught up with Ant just a little bit because
Yeah.
we're about to record and you'll talk
Yeah.
to him after this.
Yeah.
So you know of Ant Haynes and Ed Haynes because they were on the rugby team.
Yeah. I mean, so I'll be honest, like I know them,
Mhm.
but I think when I came in, like they were still there, but I feel like they were on their way
I
out,
see.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I think like in so many sports, especially if you're representing at a, s- a level that people will come in and people will come out. So
Mhm.
I think they were mid to going out type thing.
Yeah.
I'm still involved, like not as much as I used to because obviously life happens.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, I mean, Yeah, I love it.
Cool. So, I mean, in a professional sense,
Yeah.
you're professionally very active. You're on
Yes.
your feet a lot,
Yeah.
with the person that you're taking care of, with your
Yeah.
yoga classes, even with rugby, and with the Girl Behind the Face initiative.
Yeah.
You're just on your feet a lot. You're doing a lot of things. So, like,
Yeah.
if the next question is, what do you like to do for fun? It sounds like you just like to move a lot
What do I like to do for fun? Sleep, actually.
from all the movement you're doing.
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, and this is the thing, like, I love it, but it's also so hard.
Mhm,
Like, I think so many of us, me, you, all of us, I think some of us really struggle with the concept of taking time out
mhm.
and relaxing
And stillness.
and stillness,
Yeah.
because for me, I'm so used to being go, 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 bang, bang, bang. What the hell's going on? Why is nothing happening?
Mhm.
When really all you really need is actually stillness.
Yeah.
And so, especially over the summer, especially because the rugby season has taken a break. We know it never really takes a break, but um my Saturdays are available,
Mhm,
which is really nice, but it's really jarring sometimes because it's like I need the time just to be with myself and be still and, just take a break from all the stimulation that I go through on a daily basis when I'm actually like, I need to get out and do something.
yeah. I think, one thing that, that a lot of people have talked about, especially because of COVID and people being cooped up in their houses and being forced into that
How fun was
stillness,
that?
so fun. I
So
mean,
fun.
I mean, I live in the mainland, so
Oh,
we had a
okay.
special brand of fun with the lockdowns and stuff. It's just people were so unfamiliar with stillness and boredom. Like even to this day, like it's not like my kids are on their iPads all day, but whenever they tell me that that they're bored, they tell me like it's a problem that we need to fix. Where it's like, dude, you could use your imagination.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
sit around for a while and just
I mean,
be there with your thoughts.
I remember very briefly when, we had COVID in Hong Kong. Well, number one, it was actually really nice because nobody was on the streets because
Mm,
loads of people had to work from home, right? Um, but obviously, with my nature of work, I didn't have that luxury, and
mhm,
well, great because I still have a job. I'm very lucky,
yeah.
but it was one of those things where yeah, it was nice to actually be able to breathe in clearer air.
Mhm,
But also, unfortunately, when I had to be, I mean, I'm sure in the mainland, I mean, they're pretty strict on quarantine, right?
mhm.
When I had to isolate because I was a close contact,
I see.
number one, um, and then secondly, when I myself got COVID, that was the first time I actually properly struggled because also with my mental health, because I wasn't used to being on my own
Mhm.
for actually that both of them were 2 weeks at a time.
Where it was just you,
Just
the
me
room, and
in
your
a flat.
thoughts.
Yeah, no balcony, no nothing. Where I live, I don't have a balcony. Um, but it was one of those things that like me and my thoughts, and I thought, oh shit, okay,
Here we go.
here we
Yeah.
go. But yeah, no, I'm learning to be better with that. I'm
Okay.
learning to be, especially if it's just one day out of a week,
Mhm.
I can do that.
Right.
Like I can deal with being on my own for
Yeah.
a day a week.
And would you say too that, coming out of that and now it's 2025,
Yeah.
getting outside, doing things like enjoying a run, being on the rugby pitch and refereeing, teaching yoga, these are all things that you've kind of reclaimed as your active
I've
self?
reclaimed them as my happy self, but I also think I've come, and it's not just COVID. This is the thing. It's age, and I think it's maturity. Not that I'm very mature, but I find myself now, I prefer smaller crowds.
Mhm.
I prefer less noise.
Yeah. You like the
Um
quality over the quantity of
yeah.
things.
Yeah. And but I think that that has been a process.
Mhm.
That is a process because
Right.
I think when you're younger, you want to be out there, you want to do all sorts of stuff, right? You want to do, you want to be, the life and soul of, wherever you are.
Sure.
And then as you get older and you realize I actually like being on my own. I like the stillness, I like the quietness. I wish I had more time for this.
Mhm.
So yeah, it is quite a process.
Right on. And we're gonna be talking about the balance of the stillness and the active
Yeah.
part of yourself. And you just wrapped up your Hyrox yesterday, your first Hyrox, maybe won't be your last. And let's talk about that a little bit, and let's get some context as well with you regarding your skin
Yep.
condition. My homework for this was making sure I pronounce that name right. It's Harlequin ichthyosis. Am I the first to say that right?
You're not the first, but you can be the first. You can be the
Yes.
first. So
Okay.
actually, interestingly, and I'm not like correcting you at all because
Yeah.
I am the same. So when I was younger,
Mhm.
I always called it ichthyosis,
Mhm.
like because like you pronounce all the
Yeah.
letters, and I think it was like a couple of years ago, I found out that the other way to say is ichthyosis,
Ichthyosis.
like ichthyosis.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hey, I'm just gonna call it what I call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And if you guys are not happy, then
Sure.
tough shit.
And also, okay, so and I'm sure you've gotten this question so many times anytime you're a guest on a podcast or a TV show or anything. So you can give me like the 20-second version if that feels good for you, but like what
Yeah.
exactly is this condition?
Okay, so it is a genetic skin disorder. It's rare. It's about one in, I could be wrong. um, about one in about 300,000
Mhm.
births, basically. Um, I am the fourth. We think that I am the fourth oldest living survivor in the world.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so quite special. Um, and basically, our skin regenerates too quickly. So it's genetic. So for all you gene nerds, it's the ABCA12 gene.
Okay. ABCA12.
Yeah, doesn't mean anything to me because it just it should, but it doesn't.
Okay.
And so our skin on the outside regenerates too quickly. So if you think of your skin, um, maybe if you get a sunburn,
Mhm.
when it peels, if it's super dry, it takes about 2 weeks for your skin to, grow and evolve and stuff. For me, it's overnight or less than a day.
Mhm.
So it's a very fast turnover. So that's one thing.
Okay.
Um, it also ichthyosis. Oh, by the way, ichthyosis is like a whole hybrid of skin conditions, but Harlequin is the most
Got it.
severe, actually.
Okay.
Um, I really hit the jackpot, didn't I? um, so, and also, people think, oh, it's just a skin condition. It's like whatever, but it affects your internal organs as well. So, um, as you can probably see, I got a bit of arthritis in the hands because, yeah,
So that part of that uh
it's open over. I think where because our skin is our largest organ,
mhm.
so much of our energy, so much of our calories, so much of our,
I
y-
see.
you know, is being put into the skin
Mhm.
that our bodies are kind of the rest of our bodies are kind
It's
of
in
playing
well,
catch up.
it's in a constant state of turnover,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So, yeah, so basically I have a little bit of arthritis
Mhm.
in the hands. Um we have some people have cardio issues
Mhm.
because also when you're born and not scaring anybody, but it used to have a high mortality rate
Mhm.
basically. And when you're born, our skin is so thickly cased around our bodies, making it hard to breathe.
Okay.
So lots and lots of things. But obviously now, with, the wonders of medical
Mhm.
technology and improvements, I say improvements, I won't go into that whole argument, but like, with medical advances,
Yeah.
um, there are more and more survivors, and I think that's wonderful.
And in your case,
Yeah.
um, I, you know, you're living in this world of like you're like the first person to do this and that, right? Like,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to assume that you're the first person with Harlequin ichthyosis to be doing a Hyrox race.
Probably yes.
Probably yes.
Probably
Yeah.
yes.
So, and I was thinking, like, where does that? How is that true for me? Am I the first person to do something, something, something? So, like, for me, it's
Um,
like I have to really narrow it down. Like, I'm the first Filipino American who lives in Shenzhen to do a podcast in Hong Kong, probably. But
Probably.
like your whole life is always somewhat defined by being the first person of your situation.
So okay, so what I'm gonna say is I mean I know what what you're saying, but I think
Yeah.
also it comes down to mindset and
Mhm.
it comes down to what do you want to what do you want to do
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky because living in Hong Kong has, you know, living in Hong Kong is wonderful actually because I think I have been allowed to be nurtured. I've
Mhm.
been allowed to be supported. People haven't really felt the need, including my parents, to wrap me up in cotton wool. Um, they haven't been afraid to say, "Hey, if you're doing a shit job, you're doing a shit job," you know.
Yeah.
Because I think with a lot of people with not just skin conditions, but disabilities,
Mhm.
other limitations, and what have you, a lot of people are quite quick to jump in and say, "Oh, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. You know, let's not do that because it'll be too,
Yeah.
you know, painful or harmful or
There's also
whatever."
like the other side of it too of, when people with disabilities or other conditions that wouldn't normally allow them to do something, when they do it, they're celebrated as like such an inspiration of like, if that person can do
So
it,
we
can
call
I?
that, so
Like,
we kind of call that this was a fabulous fabulous quote by, I think her name was Stella Young.
mhm,
She was an Australian disability activist, unfortunately no longer with us, but something that she said in a TED talk was, "I am not your inspiration."
okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that's the question I'm getting at
Yeah.
is, there's so like I think maybe 3 days ago, someone ran a marathon and this person had crutches and he had to have a special boot because one leg was significantly longer
I
than the
feel I may
other.
have seen that as
And
well.
yeah, so he had
Yeah.
like a Hoka shoe and then one Hoka shoe with like an with a lengthened sole.
Yeah.
And every other post is like, if he can do it, why can't I, kind of thing. And it's like, I guess that's inspirational, but it also seems like there's something
I don't want
almost
to talk out
exploitative
of
about it
turn. I don't
or
want to talk out of turn, but I'm going to say it depends on what the person wants to do. And nine times out of 10, a lot of these people who want to do these marathons, who want to do things like, you know, me who did Hyrox and,
mm,
you know, all these things, we do it because we want to do it. We're
yeah,
not doing it because we want to seek validation that,
mm,
oh my gosh, like, if you can do it, so can I,
yeah,
you know? And you know, I may offend people by saying that, but
yeah,
I think the reason that I do what I do is because I want to.
yeah,
Because I have been encouraged to, I've been nurtured to do
mhm,
that. You know, nobody has ever said to me, "Oh, you need to go out there because if you go out there, you're going to inspire
mhm,
everybody." I don't go out to inspire people. I go out to I'm sorry, but earn money, do a job, and, you know, at the end of the day, maybe, you know, have a nice dinner,
yeah.
you know, just like everybody else. And the fact that I have a skin condition, well, yay.
Yeah. I mean, I love the way that you're putting it because essentially what you're saying, I think, is you're just doing it because this is what you do. And it's like you don't need to put a label on what this represents or anything like that. I just felt like doing it. I felt like doing this race with my friends.
Yeah.
And that's what's important to me.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I really, uh, and if that's something that I could impart on others,
Mhm.
and I mean, look, I mean, it's obvious that we look different, all right? It's obvious that, you know, that people look different, that people might have one leg or, you know, they might be in a wheelchair, but they're still people.
Mhm.
You know, they still have, you know, their wants and desires and stuff. And, you know, if they want to do something reckless within the safety confines, let them do it.
Team, I want to quickly interrupt this episode to give a little shout out to our sponsors, Today Well Spent. This little journal has made such a massive, profound impact on my life since I started using it. When I started using it, I actually didn't know that it was backed by neuroscience, but now it totally makes sense. This has brought a ton of gratitude to my life. It keeps me on track and focused on the things I need to do day to day, and brings a lot of context as to how each day fits within the greater week and the greater month. So if you, like me, really care about trying to be a high performer and want to do everything you can to make that happen, I cannot recommend this journal enough. Use our discount code, THEPROCESS, to grab yours today.
Yeah. Let's talk about reckless now then. So in this chaotic physical year that you
Yes.
decided to do, tell me about your Hyrox race. Like for you, what was your preparation for it as a relay race? Did you guys draw straws for who does what? Right? Like how did this work out for you?
Okay, so when I approached, so a friend of mine, I'm gonna name her because she's amazing and I love her so much. Her name is Nika.
Mhm.
And she and I think we were kind of thinking we were both wanting to do high rocks actually. Um, we are both fairly fit. But we were also sort of like, it looks terrifying.
Yeah.
And I think then, I don't know why, but I put it out on online and within my close friends, and I said, hey, anyone want to do a relay? Because if that's the one way we're gonna get in, we're gonna do it. So yeah, so I brought in Nika, I brought in Catherine, and I brought in Lauren. I say brought in, we all asked if we could join. we all we all I was like, hey, who wants to do it?
It's one of those, this is gonna be exciting, right? Yeah, okay.
um
Right?
so yeah, so we assembled. Sounds all marvelly, doesn't it? We put together the WhatsApp group chat, I think just in about February. Now bear in mind all four of us have fairly demanding jobs.
Mhm.
So meeting up was next to impossible.
Right.
So I don't think Hyrox will appreciate hearing this, but we really did not do very much training at all.
I'd be willing to bet you wouldn't be the first team that kind of rocked up and kind of did your thing, or like even as an individual. I just talked to someone downstairs who he did maybe one simulation, but other than that, I didn't do any training for the Hyrox.
So I did two simulations. Nika joined me on one. The other two had, various commitments, so they couldn't.
So what you're saying is yesterday's race was the first time all four of you
Yeah.
did the thing together?
Yes. Yes.
Love it.
But hey, we did it, and we joked that, there's no apparently there's no cutoff time for Hyrox, which I find very hard to believe. But
There's actually a running joke in our gym. One of our coaches, Karan, he has the slowest time of finishing the elite men's.
What was it?
Or, oh gosh, hours. Somewhere over 2. And I think there was people who were trying to disassemble the race, and he was kind of there. So then they were able to talk to the organizers into letting him finish.
Oh my goodness.
He was having massive cramps.
Oh, bless him.
But then he also did the race on Saturday.
Yeah.
I think that was his first individual race since then, and then he completely redeemed himself.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, no, because remember we started at
He's at
7:50
in the
evening on a Sunday evening.
That's so insane.
Yeah, just a tad. I mean, if you think, and we got to schlep to Asia World Expo, which is not an easy trip.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we basically were like, okay, so let's do it, So we tried to get together, but again, schedules didn't really align. So yeah, yesterday was the first time we actually. So we kind of set ourselves a target. If we can do this before 1 a.m.
Finish before 1 a.m. at a 7:50 start.
Yeah, we had a couple of injuries and whatnot, so we were like, if we can finish before 1 a.m., we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Or let's be a bit more sort of, if we can do this in under 3 hours, we'll be fine. We did it in 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Yes.
And also nobody ended up in the medical tent, which is also a miracle.
Yeah. What a party.
What a party. Actually, there was actually one time when I wouldn't say I had to humble myself, but I felt a little bit, because of the fact that I'm a little competitive at times, or I push myself, shall I say. Because again, going back to the whole, awareness thing, the whole disability thing, like, I don't want to be remembered just for taking part. I want to be also remembered because I actually, I push myself, and
Yeah.
I know that sounds terrible, but you know what I mean.
Like you didn't want purely a participation.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
wanted
Like
to give it a go.
yeah. Like I didn't know. Well, I mean, let's be honest. Who wants it? Like we all want the Hyrox patch, guys. We all want the Hyrox.
Did you get one?
Of course I
I've
did.
never gotten one. I've never done a race.
Okay,
I'm,
we're gonna make sure you get in.
yeah.
We're gonna make sure. Yeah. So yeah, but for me, I think in my first race, I ran. I got a bit assholey, and I literally was like sidestepping
Yeah,
the
but to be
slower
fair,
ones.
this is what I understand with the Hyrox running route.
Yeah.
Is you kind of share it with everyone, no matter
what you're doing. Yeah.
right. And you have
yeah.
people who are starting off the run real hot, and you have people in the middle of the race or the end of the race where they're struggling.
There were some people who were walking the thing, by the way.
So it's to no one's fault.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to weave through, right?
Yeah, and there was a time. This is something which will probably stay with me for a long time. When I did the 10K in February, I wouldn't say I landed myself in deep shit, but I was slightly humbled because when you run on the Hong Kong highways during this thing, for some stupid reason, so when you're running on a 2-lane highway, they block off one half of the highway so that the medical vans and whatnot can go. So you're literally running on a tiny, tiny little thing, and it's crowded. Remember, it's 32,000 10K runners. I mean, obviously split in, but like each wave is still a good 10,000, if not more.
Yeah.
I got a bit rude. And I started shouting at people to get out of the way because obviously I had a bit of the momentum in me, having gathered myself after having a stitch in the first kilometer.
Okay.
Not good. And I was just like running, and I was like, get out of my way, get out of my way. Like, what the hell is going on? And I ran past, when I finally, and then I was, and this is so bad of me, and I will probably get absolutely slaughtered for this, but I realized they were the visually impaired people.
No way.
Yeah.
Did you say before that, what are you, blind?
No,
Okay.
I did not. I did not.
Before you realized?
Thank goodness I did not. But but I mean, if you ask anyone else, like, if they ask me, like, they wouldn't put it past me to say that. But it was a bit humbling. It was a bit humbling.
Okay, so how did you apply this experience to the Hyrox Corral?
Honestly, not much change, but I just kind of was like, okay, there is space. If there is space, I will run. But luckily the running area is quite wide, so
Okay,
it wasn't too bad. And luckily, not everyone, especially if you're not the first one, you're not running in a pack.
Yeah.
So that was good.
I see. And then for you, okay, remind me, for the relay, everyone gets 2 stations.
Yep.
The 2 stations that you did were?
What were they? Brain fog. Sled push.
Sled push.
And then I think I did the rowing.
And the row. Okay.
Yes.
As a person who's never done the Hyrox, the sled is the one that looks most intimidating because it's hard to do on its own, but to do it and then run, that sounds like such a challenge.
So interestingly, I was thinking about this as when I was walking here, hobbling here. I actually think, in a way, that the running bit kind of gave me some momentum.
Yeah?
kind of gives one momentum to get on to their next station.
Okay.
Like I think it was still like 78 kg of pushing that I had to do like 4 times.
Yeah.
But I feel like the running, definitely gave me a little bit of momentum,
Okay.
which is
So
interesting.
in your case, it was the run and then the sled push?
Yeah, for everyone, you got to run.
Everything. So for the relay, the runs, every time
Run
it's your
first
turn,
and
run
then
and then your
activity.
station.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did that feel going from run to the sled push? You were able to just really drive into it and go, like you were saying, with that momentum?
Kind of, yeah, kind
Okay.
of. Which was very unlike me. I mean, I thought I would need to take a couple of breaths and stuff, but because I think I had so much adrenaline,
Mhm.
that I just went, okay, let's go.
Okay. Right on. Did you have a pretty set routine and approach for the sled, or were you like, oh, let's see how
Again,
this
I was
goes?
humbled. I was quite humbled.
That was the operative word of yesterday, was humbled.
Yeah, very humbling, very humbling. So in the sim that I did, in May, in
That's
May,
enough time.
yeah, I know, but there were people doing it like 2 days before
Oh,
or
yeah.
like, weeks before.
Yeah.
I need to see the photos when they come out, but like, I think I did both hands in front.
Mhm.
Um,
Arm straight.
arms straight. Some people would hook their arms.
I've seen people do it where like they're pushing their shoulders
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it
yeah.
and almost picking up the back end.
Yeah, so some people were hooking, some people were pushing. Again, humbled being the most operative word here. Because when I started pushing, I literally was like, oh shit, it's actually 78 kg.
Was it not going at first?
It was not it was well, at first it was not going,
Uh-huh.
and also I think at first, maybe the first minute or so,
Mhm.
I was really nervous. So
Yeah.
I was just like, oh God, what am I doing? What am I doing? So I ended up actually pushing from the bottom,
Okay.
or sort of, middle to bottom.
Yeah.
And then just like pushing like
Yeah, getting real low into it.
quite low.
Putting
Yeah.
as much of your weight
Yeah.
as your 5-foot frame could do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then seeing what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it may please everyone to know that the carpet was like butter. It was nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right on. That's good to know.
Because sometimes, from what I've heard, the carpet can be a bit rough.
There's like a minor controversy about this changing of the carpet in
Yes.
Hyrox. I don't know anything about
I don't know.
this.
I don't know much about it, but I heard there was a slight controversy. I think in Chicago.
Right. But in your experience, moved nicely.
I was so lucky.
Right
I
on.
was so glad.
Cool.
Because I was a little bit worried,
Yeah.
but I thought, okay, it's okay. It's okay.
Did you know how many laps you'd have to do?
4 laps.
And did those 4 laps go easily, or was it like one? Shit.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes. I did have to stop a couple of times.
In one length?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was okay because, again, I think the beauty is that unless you're doing like a full-on competition where you're racing for a world title,
Sure.
you don't really have anybody, in your ear screaming at you to keep going. Maybe I should have, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was actually okay.
Right on. And then
Yeah.
your second part was the run into the row.
No, so so the way that our team structured it was that we had at least 1 or 2 people between each.
Oh, okay. So you were able to take a bit of a break
Yeah.
before you got to
Because
the run into the row.
I think after I did the first station, I don't think I could have actually done the second one like immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, there were 2, I think, and then I went next. No, because it was sled pull, so that was Lauren.
I see.
Um,
So knowing that you would have a break built in,
Yeah.
did you send it a little bit on your initial turn with the run into the sled? Or were you like, okay, let's just see what happens. Let's have fun with it.
yeah, it was the latter, to be honest. It was more just like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine.
How did you feel going into your second part of the relay with the run into the row? Did you feel fresh?
I wouldn't say I felt fresh. I did not feel fresh. I just kind of thought, okay, let's just get this done.
Yeah.
Please, let's just get this done.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was, I think, 1,000 meters, I think,
Yeah.
of rowing. I thought I was done at 200, but apparently I had 800 to go.
Who told you you would be doing 200?
Well, I mean, the way that I was going, I thought I was already at, like, five maybe,
Yeah, yeah.
and then it was like, oh shit.
Normally, do you like rowing?
So I haven't rowed for well, I haven't done it for a long time. But I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I think for Hyrox, that's the first time in at least 10 years that I got on a rowing machine.
Okay, right on.
I mean, not my favorite, as
Yeah.
my legs can attribute today,
Mhm.
but yeah.
All right. And then the rowing, and then that meant that for the
I
rest of the
was
race after
done.
that,
I
you were
was done
done.
after the rowing. Yeah.
What was your job there? Were you just cheering on?
Just
And
cheering
yeah.
on and just making sure, well, all of us making sure that we actually got out. Because also, actually, the nice thing about being one of the last waves to go was that it wasn't as crowded. Because when we got into the zone, when we started, the men were still racing. It was crowded.
Yeah.
It was sweaty and disgusting. And it was, yeah. And so as people were finishing, it was actually much nicer. It was much nicer, and we could actually see
Yeah.
who was coming
Right
in.
on. And also, you get to finish up the ramp
Yes.
together
So
with like
so Nika did the she did the warbles. Um I am too short for warbles. I mean, yeah, it's just not gonna happen for
Yeah.
me. I mean,
Also, with any of these stations, if once you're assigned that station, you have to do it yourself. You can't have anyone help you.
basically yes.
Okay, so like as a team, if your friend Nico was struggling with the wall balls, the best you could do is
Go, yeah, go do it. You got this, babes.
Yeah.
Type thing.
A lot of
yeah.
that.
Yeah. You fucking got this.
Yeah. How did you do?
She did amazing. She
Yeah?
did amazing.
Right on.
So when we get into the warbles thing, when she got it, we couldn't find her, and so this judge was not judge, but this like assistant was like, "Oh, it's you guys. She's there.
Oh, okay.
So we were able to join her for the warbles,
Right on.
and then when she hit, I think it's 100 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
We were all able to run up to the podium, which is nice.
Yeah. How is that feeling for you to cross that? Because I've seen it in the videos. Is they have like the smoke cannon or whatever that goes off.
So I actually don't remember what we had. I don't know. I mean, I'll have to see it when they come out.
Did you feel like a sense of like, I don't know, Hyrox high at the end of that, or was it just like, well, that was it, or like?
It was more like a thank God that's done. No. I mean, it was a massive sense of achievement. We were so happy to have done it.
Yeah.
And it was a great experience, honestly. And I think, yeah, there is definitely something in that achievement of having done something that's totally out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
But it's a very, yeah.
Do you get it now why there's such hype around this race?
I'm gonna say no. Because I think, I mean, not no, but I think it's a fantastic activity, and I think people should do it. Because why the hell not? I mean, it's fun, but again, it's one of those things where I wonder if, say, in even 5 years' time, there'll be another activity that we're all going to get on the bandwagon for, right?
Okay.
Maybe not. I could be wrong. Maybe Hong Kong or these sports, and I don't mean just Hyrox. I'm thinking things like Spartan, things like Tough Mudder and all that. Not that I've done any of them, by the way.
Yeah.
It's they will all have their time.
Sure. Well, for your time, you had February the 10K, you had July the Hyrox. You said this is for the year. What's the next thing for you that you'll be doing this year? Do you have that set yet?
No, no. I think I think my body needs a bit of a break.
Okay, it needs some of that stillness.
Yeah, needs a bit of that stillness. Because also, I think when you're training for, these activities and competitions and stuff, you don't realize, your body takes a bit of a
For
beating.
sure.
And, I have so much love and respect for people who can do things like ultra marathons and, almost back to back
Mhm.
competitions.
Yeah.
I can't, or I don't think I can. Maybe that's my mindset. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's maybe one thing that I'm wondering if you found out a little bit more about yourself after having done the High Rocks, not just the High Rocks, but the amalgamation of doing a 10K in February, training for the High Rocks, doing a couple simulations, and now doing the race yesterday. Do you have a better sense of your capabilities and your physical limitations and just those kinds of things when it comes to activity?
So for me, I think yes, I think it would be foolish of me to do too many things
Mhm.
in a year because I think you can't. None of us are Superman, right? And I think as long as we enjoy what we do,
Mhm.
we take the time to recover. Because the worst thing to do would be to be not prepared.
Mhm.
And I mean, we weren't exactly prepared for high rocks,
Yeah.
but the as long as you're prepared, your body is good, your body's in good form, then maybe, and again, it's training, isn't it?
Yeah. And right now you're in recovery mode, I would say. So
Yes.
what is recovery going to look like for you, at least today?
So I've got my electrolytes and my magnesium and all that jazz.
Mm.
Um I'm gonna drink a shitload of that. Um because I've got to work later.
Okay, right on.
So when I go home, I'm gonna just take it easy. Like I'm also, oh, by the way, I'm also part of a run club as well. As
Hooray.
everyone is, but
Yeah.
except I don't think I've turned up to many of them.
Okay.
But they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do a run if you want to join us tonight."
Mhm.
I said, "Absolutely not. Absolutely
Yeah,
not."
sounds
Or
good.
in my mind, I said, "Absolutely
Yeah.
not." Um, but also, just mm, just also can I just like touch on the fact, like mental health as well,
Yeah.
and these competitions, or these activities, shall I say? It takes a lot of mental strength to actually get out there, I think. And up until a few days before these things that I've done, anything that I've done, I've had these weird, not weird, but I've had these thoughts in my head that's just kind of like, I don't want to do this. What the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Like, have I made a giant mistake? Because I feel like that's something that a lot of people,
That doubt just started
that
creeping in. Did you
doubt.
did you expect that to happen?
Yes, I do,
Okay. So
actually.
how did you handle that?
Um, really badly, by ignoring it.
There we go.
No, which is not advisable. But I spoke to my friends.
Mhm.
I spoke to the my relay members, and I said, you know what, guys, I know we're gonna do great,
Mhm.
but there's a huge part. I mean, we all were literally texting each other in the WhatsApp group and just going, "What are we doing? What the heck is going
Yeah.
on?"
Was it in the veil of what the hell are we doing? LOL.
Yeah, sort of thing. Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, I think also I think going back to what you said about, the next time, all the time, every time I want to do one of these things, as well as being in a good physical place, we
Mhm.
got to be in a good mental place,
Yeah.
right? And so I think that's also another part of recovery.
Sure. And that sounds like uh one of the key initiatives of the Girl Behind the Face initiative is to serve more about the mental health side of things. So can you tell us a little about what you're focusing on there? I think you did mention in our startup conversation that you have some things planned for by the end of the year.
Yes.
How is this an important project for you, and how does this speak to you?
So I don't want to speak too out of turn,
Sure.
but we, because, my parents, do so much of the heavy lifting, and I like to say I'm the poster girl because, let's be honest with you, I go out and do stuff, right? Um, the the initiative what came about because there were a lot of things that have happened in my life and in my mother's life, um, that a lot of people would find crazy, absolutely ridiculous. And I think it's about finding the positivity. It's finding the positivity. It's finding the support. It's sharing what works. Again, what works for one doesn't work for everyone else, but sharing what works for all of us.
Yeah. And kind of finding the way to have that conversation.
Yeah. And actually a very an interesting thing that people have assumed actually is that people have thought the girl behind the face, like its name, referred to me because it's so easy to go, oh, Mui looks different. She is the girl behind the face, right?
Sure.
And it's actually not. It's actually my mom's story. So it's actually so the girl behind the face is actually my mom's story because I think, again, not going too deeply, you do not know what goes on behind anyone's face, right? You don't know you don't know the traumas, you don't know their backstory. And it really makes people think sometimes. So so with our initiative, we've done corporate talks, we've done family talks. We are hoping to get a book out by the end of the year called
Great.
An Unexpected Adoption. Because yes, my adoption was rather unexpected.
Yeah.
Yes.
How so?
Well, my parents my parents were, they were in Hong Kong in the 90s. My mum came over from Germany. My dad was an actor in Hong Kong movies. And yeah, they met on a Schweppes commercial, by the way.
Right on.
Yeah.
Shout out to Schweppes for the
Yeah,
romance.
shout out to Schweppes. And basically, before, they wanted to do other things, they decided to do a bit of weekend fostering. And basically, again, lots and lots of things happened, which, you'll have to find out in a book.
It's a nice teaser there.
Yes, it is. Oh God, yes, it is. But I am that weekend foster.
So the expectation was they were going to foster you for
For maybe a few weekends,
Yeah.
give me a bit of fun because also my health at the time was so precarious. Because the other thing with ichthyosis and Harlequin, especially like back in the 90s, if you think about it, nobody really knew how long I would live. Like doctors predicted I'd be gone by like five
Wow.
latest,
Okay.
maybe 3 or 5. And also because I was in a hospital, my bio parents basically effectively abandoned me, which some people some people think, oh my God, they are assholes. But look, you can't, everyone's got their own stories, everyone's got their own reasons. You can't, the, I know what happened to them in the sense that I know a little bit of their backstory. So it kind of makes me understand, okay, well, if you can't, basically, I do not believe that they were equipped or ready to want to take on a child who may not live. And, some people might say, oh, you can't, a kid is your kid, you don't walk away from kids. But some people are genuinely not equipped for that, I suppose.
Yeah. That's really
And
striking to hear you say something like that about your birth parents. Was it something that it took time for you to come to that understanding or to that
um
conclusion, or was it something that you've had always an understanding
I mean,
about?
I always knew that. Look, I mean, I always knew I was adopted.
Mhm.
I mean, I look pretty different to my parents. Like, my parents are like 6 foot. I'm not. Like, but it's not like, it was always talked about. It was never hidden.
Mhm.
Um, but, there are a lot of, yeah. So basically, they couldn't. I don't believe that my birth parents were equipped to handle my condition.
Mhm.
And so I was put into the care of the Hong Kong government. And, my parents met me in a hospital where they were, doing the weekend fostering because, they approached, I think, the social welfare department
Yeah.
and were like, hey, we want to do some fostering, or we
Yeah.
want to give some fun to a kid.
By the way, do you remember this when you were younger? Meeting your parents for the first time?
Oh, no, 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 no. I think I was 1.5.
Okay.
Um,
It is funny when have you heard people talking about they can remember these kinds of things when they were
yeah,
like less than a
no.
year old? I always wonder, like, do you really?
Nah, nah. I'll be honest with you. Like a lot of my past, a lot of my childhood,
Mhm.
my parents have had to tell me this. Like, this is
Yeah,
just
same here.
yeah. Like, I do not remember the first time I stood up or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So where was I? So basically,
They became your
yeah, they
parents.
became my parents because also I think without giving too much away, again, my parents wanted me to grow up with a family
Mhm.
and or have time with a family
Yeah.
and not have time with a family for however long I had left,
Mhm.
basically. And here we are 32 years later.
Yeah. Would you say, how much about who you are and your outlook in life
Oh,
and the way
100% attribute
from
to my
them?
mum and dad.
Can you
Absolutely.
tell me one quality about your mom that speaks to that?
She's a massive giver.
Yeah.
Like, she is very, she's always been the one to dole out the hugs, to, be very, uh, huggy.
She's very demonstrative in her
Very
love.
demonstrative, and my dad's very, he comes out with the advice, the good advice.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Whether
you had like the regular TV sitcom parents. It was all love all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I think my dad has always come out and he's always been, super pragmatic and
Mm.
super sort of, very, my parents would never like dismiss my any of my issues or anything.
Mm.
We would talk about them.
Yeah. How do they feel about all of your physical challenges? Are they like, "Go girl," or "Go girl within reason," or "Are you sure you wanna do this?" Like, what does their support look
Um,
like?
well, look, I mean, as a family, we've always been a very give it a go type of family, which
Mm.
is great. There have been a couple of times where for example, when I wanted to do a summer touch, you know, like a summer touch
I
competition.
see. Touch rugby?
Yeah, touch rugby in like 35 degrees. My parents like, you really think that's a good idea?
Okay.
And I was like, hey, it is what it is.
And then
uh,
they're like, "Okay."
um, look, I mean, as parents, you're a parent, aren't you?
This is why I'm asking.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
'cause I
think
don't know
I
when that
think you
conversation will
can. I
come for
think
me.
when again, I'm not here to give parental advice, but I think my parents have been so encouraging.
Mhm.
I mean, they've never said no, to be fair.
No
Okay,
flat
within
out
reason,
no's.
within reason, they might have said, do you think,
Yeah.
But I don't think they have ever really said, no, you're not doing it because whatever. It was always give it a go. And if
Mhm.
you don't like it, then you don't like it.
Sure.
It's the same with the rugby. When, because I wanted to play rugby, But at the time I had brittle bones, which, you know, makes this whole running / Hyrox / whatever thing all the more, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. Which is now, what the hell did you just do?
Yeah, I know. Instead of saying no, my parents were like, okay, so go and see what else you can do.
Mhm.
You know, so they've never necessarily been like, no, you can't do this because, you know, because yeah, they've just been, no, go and give it a go. And if
Awesome.
you're, and you know, if you, I mean, my mum texted me last night, just before I left to go to the Asia Expo. She's like, are you gonna do this in the sun in this heat?
I
And
see.
I was like, no, it's actually indoors. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because I would not do this in 35
Mhm.
degrees.
Okay. Yeah. So the way that your mom asked those questions is exactly how I ask my kids these questions when I'm like, are you sure you're going to do this? Just make sure you understand the parameters of the fuckery you're about to
Yeah,
commit.
I know, right? I know. I think my parents, I think they, yeah, I think they're aware of the fuckery that I'm about to like
They just want to
commit on
make sure
myself. That
that
I'm
you
aware
know
of
what
it.
they seem to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
No, but I think also it's kind of just, it's just care, isn't it? I
Of course.
mean, you know, honestly, it's just love and care. And I
It's the
think,
love language for
yeah,
sure.
it's a love language.
Awesome. What's the name of this book again?
Sorry?
What's the name of this book? That
An unexpected
An
adoption.
Unexpected Adoption. Awesome.
Yes.
And then the names of your parents?
Of course. Rog and Tina.
Raj and Tina.
Yeah.
Awesome. So look, I have so many more questions that I'd love to ask you, but
We
there's
can do
one
like a prequel. We can do a sequel.
we could, but there is one question, and you know we have traditions here, and
Yeah.
Ed, our main host, has one question, but I came up with a question myself, is because I'm asking so many questions that are popping out of my head. So my question for you is, what is one question you've always wanted someone to ask you?
God, that is so hard because I feel like people have literally asked me every question under the sun.
Yeah, and it's always questions from our side of like, you know, our research about yourself and your background and the subjects that I've wanted to talk about and that you've agreed to be a guest on. But it's like, you know, as an open question, like what's something that's no one's ever asked you that you've always wanted to talk about?
Okay, so I'm kind of making it up on the spot
Yeah,
here,
go
but
for it.
I'm kind of just like, I wish people would ask me instead of assuming. I
Mhm,
think, because I think, especially having a skin condition, and you know, with this whole, you know, my idea and my life in fitness,
mhm.
inverted commas. Um, I wish people would be more sort of, well, I mean, I'm lucky, especially in Hong Kong.
Mhm.
Um, People don't see too much into that, which is great. But I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm really fucked with that question. I'm really screwed.
So you're saying ask before assume about what?
Do not assume. Do not assume. Just ask the question.
Mhm.
You know, because I feel like too many people tiptoe
I see.
around people like us.
I see. So if people are curious,
Just
just ask.
ask. And you know, obviously that is a train of thought that I would prefer, but it's not what a lot of people in the disability / you know, visible difference sphere, you know,
Mhm.
some people might be like, oh, you know, don't, you know, I don't want you to like, you know, notice this, you know, I'm just like you. And I'm like, but you're not.
So, you know, I was trying to formulate this question, and because I see
It's
it.
really hard
Well, I don't. I
for a Monday morning.
well, also like, okay, so I don't know how often you've encountered this type of situation
Yeah.
where it's like, because little kids are so innocent when they
Yes.
notice things that are different,
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
they'll point it out to their parent, their caregiver, and then when you know when someone's acting differently on the bus or appears different, they'll ask their parent, you know,
Oh,
in a very
what happened?
right,
Yeah.
and then the parent will go shush. And like out of shame or embarrassment, try
Yeah.
not to address the question that can be asked. Like, how do you view that situation?
So again, I'm not one to give parenting advice,
Yeah.
but I think it's kids are curious. Kids are naturally curious. And I think it's and I think parents, look, I mean, I get it. They might be embarrassed and it's like, oh shit, we got the attention of, I did not want to, draw attention,
Yeah.
type thing. But I think it's okay to ask questions, but and I'm paraphrasing, but you should not expect an answer. Because I think so many people, like kids or, and adults, they expect an answer. I had somebody maybe a year, maybe 2 ago. I was at an event with some people. I think it was like an expo or something. And I was talking to some friends, and this woman, random woman, Chinese woman, came up to me, like literally, like in my face, and she said, "I have a question." I said, "Yeah, hi, what's up?
Okay.
What happened to your face?"
Mhm.
And I literally was like, "Not now."
Okay. Yeah.
Like not now.
Yeah.
And she's like, "But I want to know. It is my right to know."
She said it's my right to know.
Yeah. She's like,
Okay.
"I just want to know."
Yeah.
And I just thought, well, with that attitude, I'm not gonna.
Yeah. So that's
I'm
swinging
not
the other
gonna.
direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of like, I'm asking you a question and I demand an answer.
Yeah.
Like you're entitled
But
to it.
also, I don't think that we, with a visible difference, if we are not in the right frame of mind,
Mhm.
because again, mindset is everything,
Yeah.
especially for us. If we're not in the right frame of mind, do you really think we're going to give a right frame of mind answer?
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if we're okay, if we're like chilled, whatever, then of course, if your kids come up to me and say, "Hey, what happened? Like, are you, what happened to your skin or
Yeah.
something?" I say, "Oh, I've got a skin condition. It's not, it doesn't hurt. It's, if you want to touch, you can touch. I know I've done weird stuff before. I literally invited a kid to peel a bit of my skin once.
No.
Hey, and he did it. So
Well, okay, so
YOLO.
when I was, I don't know if you did the same thing.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we would put like Elmer's glue on our hands and like
Oh
love
yeah,
to
we
let
all
it
did
dry
that.
and peel it off and just be like, look, it's like I'm
Yeah.
like a lizard,
Yeah. But I mean, but the thing is, again, it's all about mindset, because if you're in a good mindset, you can be in that sort of
Sure.
happy clappy, not happy clappy, but in that yeah. But if you're having a bad day, like if you've been stared at or screamed at on the MTR, like I've had a couple of times because this, do you really think when someone comes up to me and is like, "Oh, what happened to you?" and I demand to know, I'm not going to give you an
Yeah.
answer.
So it's like two parts, right? It's like
Yeah.
curiosity is okay. So be curious, but also be like respectful.
Yeah, don't expect an answer if
Yeah.
if you can see they're busy, you don't go
And don't get all up in your face about it either.
just because you didn't get what you wanted.
Yeah. Awesome.
But I also think, but again, it's also about, for everyone, I think it's always about respect. It's always about being respectful of other people,
Yeah.
of yourself, and yeah, just being a good person, honestly.
Yeah. I think the axiom of don't be a dick
Yeah, don't be a dick,
is
basically.
pretty universal and should be understood.
But no, I mean, again, like I've always, I recognize that I don't, sometimes, I mean, I think as we've spoken over the last, while, my mindset can be quite different to what other people might think. Some people agree with me, some people don't agree with me, and that is also okay.
And I think that's the heart of what I'm learning from this conversation is before anything, you're Mui Thomas. Like you're your own person.
Yeah.
Right. Of course there
I
are
am not
circumstances.
defined by my skin disorder. And I think that is an important thing that I wish loads of people with and without disabilities would understand and respect, that we are not, most of us are not defined by what we might have. We are defined as a person. We are defined as our personality.
Yeah, you're defined by your thoughts, your
Yeah.
actions,
Yeah.
your beliefs,
Like if
your
you're a dick, you're a
values.
dick.
Right.
You know, regardless whether you have, you know, a limb missing or something.
Mhm.
If you're a dick, you're a dick.
Yeah. You're just a limbless dick.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how we're going to end our conversation today.
Uh,
But wait, thank you so much for being so open for this
Yeah,
conversation.
thank you.
And if anything, I'm just inspired by the idea that like everyone is their own person, no matter what. And the life that you have in front of you, no matter the circumstances, it's up to you how you live it.
I think I'm just going to finish this off and say I have been so incredibly lucky and, you know, thankful and blessed to have the love, the support of friends and family all around me. And the world would be such a great place if everyone was the same.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mui, for your time. I hope your recovery from the Hyrox is not so unpleasant, even though today kind of is.
Yeah.
But
And I only did the relay.
hey, all good. And then I look forward to seeing your next challenges
Thank you.
for the year.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks.
Before we say goodbye, here's one crazy statistic for you. Did you know that almost 40% of people who listen to the show don't actually subscribe to it? Now, I didn't think that was a big deal until I actually learned about the power of hitting subscribe. For you, the listener, you get to stay up to date when we drop episodes on a weekly basis. But for us as a podcast, it really helps our visibility and helps us attract great brands and great listeners to help grow this podcast. So if you enjoyed this episode or you're a big fan of the show, please do us a massive favor and hit subscribe. Thank you so much.